Hey guys, Christian here. Welcome to 2022, first car of the year. So we got the BMW X3 M 2022 edition. But yeah, jumping into the specs right away, MSRP in this is about $70,895, and that includes the shipping cost. This has a 3-liter BMW M twin power turbo inline 6 with xDrive. Transmission is the 8-speed M Sport automatic with paddle shifters and also has launch control. This has about 473 horsepower, 457 torque, which gets 0 to 60 in about 3.9 seconds. It's actually pretty speedy, pretty torquey too. MPG is about 50/20 MPG or 15 city, 20 highway, and 17 combined. And weight on this is about 4,600 pounds. A little bit on the heavier side. It's pretty nice how it drives. So starting with the exterior, so we have this in the Sao Paulo Yellow, which is basically Brazil city and I guess kind of like the color of the flag. It's not like an acid green, but it's like a nice vibrant color, so it does get a lot of attention on the streets. Other thing I want to mention here is the side view mirrors. They're painted to the car and they actually are foldable and they're also heated too, so a colder environment you'll be fine too as well. And is this a SAV as BMW calls or sports activity vehicle, but overall kind of just like a crossover SUV. We got some trim here on the side, so kind of just has our X3 M badging. There is a vent there, though I will mention it is fake, unfortunately, but it adds a really nice touch and styling. We got the fenders, which are to the body color, so these are to the Sau Paulo Yellow. Again, they could probably look good in like glossy black, but I feel like this adds more width and more size to the car, more presence. The wheels are also 20-inch dual spoke orbit wheels, as they call them. Onto the front, we have the LED headlights over here, and they're also daytime running lights inside there too. On the center here, we have a nice BMW badging, and I kind of like when people customize these. Right now it's just the standard white and blue, though I've seen the pink and white ones or the black and white ones or the carbon fiber white ones, so I do like when people add the little touches to that. And then onto the front here, we have the kidney grills, which they're not oversized like the 3 and the 4 series that we've seen, but it kind of just fits the car nicely. And then some final X3 M badging. And then at the bottom, it actually has some really big vents. I do want to mention that. My hand can kind of fit in here. You can actually like see it come out over here as well too. But really nice like M styling and all of that. Big vents and everything for the radiator, so get some good cooling. Onto the backside, so for the roof rails actually, I do want to mention that they're also glossy back, standard with the car and all that. Again, SAV vehicle. And then we also have the spoiler, which are the body color. And then right below that, you also have like this M Sport styling, which is like black glossy back, kind of like spoiler right below the spoiler too. Here in the center, we have the BMW badging as well. Again, the standard white and blue. And then we have the X3 M badging on the right side, which again has that contrast of the red and the blue. And then we have the tail lights, which might look smoke, but they're actually, this is what they come like standard with the car. And then at the bottom, we also have quad tailpipes, which have a nice touch, and they're actually like real exhaust, which is surprising. You usually don't see that on sporty cars. They're usually like the fake ones. And then for opening up the trunk, there is a button right below here, though I do want to show off the key real quick. So on the key, we do have a couple buttons. So we have a unlock at the top, lock here, and then the trunk button, and then emergency panic button. And then again, for opening up the trunk, just gonna open that up real quick. And it is powered, so you can open it. At this point, you have about like 28 cubic feet of space, which is pretty nice back here. You can also add this in case you want to like cover your groceries and all that, or you don't want people looking inside your car. And then with the seats down, you have about like 62 cubic feet of space. So gonna bring down the seats real quick. So now with the seats down, you have about like 62 cubic feet of space again, as I mentioned. It's actually pretty flat, so the seats don't become like a hump or anything. I do want to mention you also have another spare tire down here. So you do need the tire in case you're off-road and maybe you get a flat or even just on the road too. But bringing this back down as well, on the right side you have two things. You also have like a hook over here. Maybe you want to just hook up something real quick. And then you also have like a 12 volt over here in case you need that for anything. And I do want to mention when you are getting like your groceries in, there's a little bit of a hump here. I do want to mention that. So besides just the regular car hump here, you also have to go a little bit higher, but it's a small thing, and when you're picking things up, it's about like to height level, so you could carry it with you pretty easily. But to close it up at this point, it's also automatic, so you just press a button up here, brings it down, and then you get to the driver's side door. So kind of forgot about the trunk challenge, but here it is. So I'm actually getting like cut by this little protector thing. I could probably remove this, and you'll probably have enough space again if you want to put your dog back here or a human or whatever you have back here. So something I kind of miss out all the time is kind of just showing you what the car sounds. This won't be a cold startup, but this will just be a general startup of the car. So I'm gonna have my friend do it right now. So it actually sounds pretty nice and girthy, good sound to it. So getting onto the driver's side door, this also has the convenience of where you could just do keyless entry, but I do want to show this off real quick. So right now you can see the car is locked, as you can see with the little kind of like knob there. So once you put your hand in here, kind of unlocks the car, as you see that popped up. And in case you want to lock the car without touching the key, these 3 little slits here, you just slide your finger across them and it locks it. I just want to show that off because I bet some people might not even know that about their own BMW cars. But at this point, you can open the car at this point. I know I repeated myself twice there, but we got some carbon fiber trim here. Nice touch and everything. This is actually standard, so it's no extra cost. You have your window controls, of course, too. And then right below that, you have some cubby space as well, too. And then up here, you do have a little X badging, which is kind of nice. You'll see that all around the car as well. And then going onto the door sill, you have like the X3 emblem, which is kind of nice. It still has a little blue sticker just to kind of protect it. It's the owner, so I'm gonna let them remove that, let them enjoy that. And then for the final thing here is kind of just the adjustment for your driver's side seat. You can actually adjust the back and also the bottom. And then there is lumbar control as well too. And I do want to mention for thigh support as well too. You can also kind of support and kind of like change this wherever you want to. It is manual, but at least you can also just adjust it wherever you want it to be. At this point, I'm gonna get inside the car and then we'll show off like what we have inside. So stepping in, so here we got the steering wheel. So you have the BMW badging here dead center. It's a 3-spoke steering wheel. We have nice contrast stitching on the right side, or basically all around the wheel, but it's that nice red, blue, and the lighter blue. And then you also have access to these nice 2 red buttons, which if you're wondering what they're for, it's kind of quick access to like 2 different M Sport steering modes, and it kind of just like adjusts everything on the car. You have your 2 paddle shifters here on the back side too. And then on the left side, you have your cruise control buttons on the left, and on the right side, you have all your volume controls, maybe for your phone, or if you want to talk to your BMW car as well. And then here on the back, kind of have the nice display, and it also has a turbo boost PSI pressure as well too. So moving on to the center, we have the 12.3-inch touchscreen. It's kind of like a nice redesign, so with a refresh and all that, it's a 12.3-inch compared to the previous 10.3-inch. So a little bit more space, a little nicer. Comes with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wireless, and it is pretty nice. There is also a 464-watt 16-speaker Harman Kardon sound system, which I will mention right now is actually pretty nice. I wish it was a little louder sometimes, but overall the sound is nice, crisp and clear and all that. And then right below that, we have the carbon fiber trim all around, as we mentioned, also on the doors and everything. And then you also have your AC controls. These are also standard heated seats as well. If you do need ventilated, it is a 350 option. I would probably recommend that. I know right now it's about 55 degrees here in LA or SoCal area. So it's a little cold, but those ventilated seats will be very amazing, or come in clutch basically in the summer. Right below the AC controls, you also have your volume controls. Again, you have your 8 presets in case you want to adjust your volume. This car doesn't have the gesture control. I will recommend the executive package, which comes with a couple of things. I think it's about $3,650, and it comes with multiple options. I'm just going to show them on the screen. Below your sound controls, you also have like a little bit more M badging right below that. And then right below this, you also have like a little bit of adjustment. I do want to mention, as I'm like sliding this up and down, sometimes it gets caught a little differently, a little bit annoying. I feel like maybe it just needs to be used a little bit and it'll get a little better over time. But under that, you have a little bit of storage in case you want to throw your phone in there. You can also pop your key there, which is kind of nice, just somewhere to throw your key, though I probably just leave it in my pocket. You have 1 USB charging port there too, 2 cup holders, and then you also have like a 12-volt. Right behind that, we have the Prindle, which is leather wrapped and has a nice contrast stitching, which is that nice red, blue, and the lighter blue. And then you also have tons of buttons here, and there's a lot to cover, but I want to give a quick mention on the left side. Yeah, you can turn off your traction control. You have the parking assist stuff. You can stop the auto on and off with the engine and all that. You have your start engine stop button. You have your M mode, so you can go between your M mode, which is the sport mode, and kind of like your more of a track mode version. You also have your exhaust in case you want to make it a little louder, a little quieter too, depending on where you are. Maybe you're going to visit your family, you don't want to get too loud while you're there. On the right side, kind of have your final stuff in case you don't want to touch your screen. Maybe your hands are a little dirty, or maybe, I don't know, you're eating chocolate and you have everything covered and you don't want to mess up your screen as well too. You can also touch the control down here and you can adjust all that and quick access to all that. Last thing down here to mention, you also have your armrest, so just bringing this up real quick. So I do want to mention you have 1 USB-C port in there. You have a little light in there. You could probably pop some things in here. Nothing too crazy of a storage space, but you can, of course, store what you need in there. And then final thing I want to mention up here, kind of have like the nice lights up here, which again, they've had for a while, but I do like that they look kind of like wings and all that. It reminds me of the older BMW previous like tail lights. So stepping into the back seats at this point. So I'm gonna sit here comfortably and all that. My knee room is actually pretty good. Again, this is already my driver's side position. I will say there is one upgrade I do recommend. I kind of want to just point out right away. I wish there was a panel roof option on this. This one doesn't have it. Again, this car is actually pretty standard, has no options on it. So everything you see here is just like a standard X3 M. But if you do want the panel roof, it's about $1,350 though. Again, I recommend the executive package, which comes with a panel roof, the manual blinds and all that, and a couple other features. Kind of forgot them right on the spot, but I'm gonna throw them up on the screen right now. But continuing with the car, we have 2 AC vents up here in the center, and then right below that there is a little screen. It's a little off right now, but I will show that how it looks. And then there is also 2 USB-C ports down at the bottom as well. There is also an armrest, so just gonna pull this down real quick. You have 2 cup holders, so just pushing this button. So pretty good space. keep this pop down, and I bet if you carry like 4 adults in here, it'd be pretty spacious and comfortable. A fifth might be a little tight, on top of there is like a pretty decent sized transmission wheel down there, but you'll probably be fine if you do need to fit 5 adults back here. As for the drive of this car, so this car is really sporty, really fun, so I can see why people like this. And if you're wondering, there's also BMW's best-selling car, the BMW X3. In part of the sedans or the XUVs, this is actually the best-selling car, which I was surprised to know, but I can see why people like these, especially the X3 M model. So really sporty, again, that 470-ish horsepower, really torquey. It really wants to like launch right now. I have it in like the M mode. I have the exhaust, so you might hear that a little bit. I do have the windows up, so it might be a little bit muffled, but it makes a nice exhaust noise. To mention that torque and acceleration, so it really wants to just like go when you let it. So it's really sporty, really fun. And again, you have the paddle shifters and everything. You can go back to manual mode completely, but the car really wants to just like launch as soon as you like start pressing on the acceleration. As for the maneuverability of this car, so it actually handles really nicely. There's like the tiniest delay, I will say, I feel, but it does turn like really quickly. As soon as you start like turning your wheel left to right, it like jerks right away that way. So it really wants to just start going in the direction you point it at. The comfort in this car is quite nice. Again, this has the Viscara regular like leather. You can upgrade to get the Murano leather for an extra $1,000, but the seats are quite comfy and everything. And as I mentioned, there's a thigh support, the power adjustable seats, so you're gonna get it adjusted exactly how you want it to be. So there is something you can mess with, kind of like the timing of the car and all that. I don't remember the exact stuff, so I'm gonna throw it up on the screen, but there's 3 little bars on your front screen, basically the dash, and it's also adjustable right under like the Prendo or on the Prendo thing as well. Do a quick acceleration for you guys. I'm not gonna have launch mode, I'm just gonna basically just accelerate. I have everything on the sportiest modes basically, so we're gonna just go for it. Alright guys, that completes my review for the BMW X3 M 2022 edition. Again, highlights of the car. Do want to mention the whole front bumper up here, really nice and like aggressive, big vents and all that. Kidney grills aren't overly excessive like we've seen on the 3 and the 4 series. Other thing I want to mention is the quad tailpipes in the back, which actually look really nice, and again, they're actually real exhaust, which is surprising. Even on more expensive cars, they don't even have those sometimes. And then final thing I want to mention is the big 12.3-inch touchscreen inside, which again, an upgrade from the previous model or the previous refresh, which is about like a 10.3-inch touchscreen. And then kind of final highlight I want to give, I do recommend one upgrade for this. Either get the executive package or just on its own, just get the panel roof, which is about $1,350, or executive package again is about $3,650 basically. But at this point, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys liked the video, like and subscribe. Again, thank you for everything, and until next time.
Wow.